There he is. I'm looking like this. Okay. The day is happening. My bad, folks. My bad. What is the other thing I'm trying to do? Bet. All right. I'm dead ass running stupid late. This was literally like a last minute thing. Give me another like 30 seconds to get some things set up, and then I'm gonna jump into this. Oh, Lord. Yeah, I gotta get better at doing these live things like King and the Simonson family and like Rural Black. I don't do this enough anymore to really get this down. All right, mic is where it needs to be. The camera's doing what it's doing. I got a couple of stories. I'm gonna really be short on this. So let's start it off. Let me get back over to the screen. All right. Hola, and buenos dias, GnGs. My name is Trekkw2ks. Welcome to another episode of Weekend Crypto, brought to you here on the Gentleman of Crypto Network. And so if you don't know, again, I am Trekkw2ks, and the idea behind Weekend Crypto is to cover crypto-related news stories that happen between a Friday and a Sunday, pop them out, usually at 08 Monday morning. And so that didn't happen. This weekend has been something else. Like I did some camping stuff, then I had to work on the car. And shout outs to the people who own Nissan Maximas who do their own car work. Shout outs to y'all, because I'm definitely learning some things about the Nissan Maxima. I had to swap out a power safety switch. If you know anything about Nissan Maximas, the power safety switch is not where you think it should be. But anywho, the weekend had a lot going on. And so I said, you know what, let me try to pop out doing a live, because I want to try to at least do a live once a month now. And the schedule works for me to be able to do it on a Monday at least once a month. I just gotta do better at coordinating stuff. So I apologize for last week. Other things happened too. Life out here, lifing, y'all. Bottom line of it. But other house cleaning thing is this segment is brought to you by CJ Smart. Ooh, Jesus. CJ is a smart guy. And so if you don't know, CJ is a CPA, and he focuses on crypto for individuals as well as people who have businesses that do crypto related things. And so if you are in the American jurisdiction, you might want to cross your T's and dot your I's, because the IRS definitely got more money to be able to go and scope out and find who is doing what and where, as well as they have more legal powers, right? So just saying, not telling you have to use them, but the link will be in the description. And if you're trying to do your due diligence and compare your notes and stuff to who you actually choose, I would say this would probably be a good resource to have comparison to. Because if they're not saying certain things, or they just bought the package last week that works to do the automation part of how you look at the wallet addresses, I don't know if that's the best person you might want to run with. In all full disclosure, CJ is also my CPA. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna definitely try to do it hopefully before the 15th. Because next month is April. I'm gonna try to get CJ on. And for those who don't know, because he's also been in the King and Zay side of the show like once or twice. So for folks who aren't familiar, just hey, here's the name to the face. But anywho, it was like 3 or so things that caught my attention. I did kind of do a last minute scramble on picking up stuff, so I didn't go all the way back to Friday. But I do think that there were some interesting things that happened over the weekend. All right. And sorry, I'm trying to like, I don't know how King be doing it, like the typing and trying to hit the camera at the same time. Hold on. GnGs. Sweet. Here we go. Bam. All right. So set that in the room. What's going on? Crypto City. What's going on? Will 45. Alapio Rodriguez. Hey, again, y'all. Sorry about the last week thing. So let's just jump into this first story because I also can't run over on time because then I mess up the stack bros and I don't want to do that to them. All right. So federal judge sanctions U.S. Sikh for gross abuse of power in crypto fraud case. So, pardon, I had talked about this case when it first came up about how the judge was like, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" And he's talking to the Sikh lawyers on how you told me one thing as far as why I should grant you the power to freeze this company's account. And then the name of the company was called Debtbox. They're based out of California. And so they were basically telling the judge, oh, look, they're moving stuff. We need to get a quick um, power of being able to freeze their bank accounts and stuff, and telling the exchange to stop doing what they're doing as far as like where they're moving the crypto through. The judge grants it only to then find out it's like, well, no, that's not what was happening. They basically lied. Here's how the case has gone so far. You had those lawyers who were doing what they were doing, representing the SEC. The judge calls them out on it. They go, oh, my bad. And then what they do is they change the whole team to a whole bunch of new people. The other people get moved off into another whatever, right? And so then what was it? What is the name of the thing? The SEC has their own like enforcement chief. The enforcement chief is like, after the judge puts this and apparently it was an 80-page legal document basically like going over like how they were abusing their authority and manipulating the system. The SEC's enforcement chief is like, oh my goodness, my bad, we need to train the lawyers better, we'll do better going forward. I'm still making the same argument of, how do you expect people who are career driven, who are like, oh, I'm going to bust my chops on the crypto wave because that's the new thing to bust your chops on to move up in the career ladder, right? And you have the guy who sits in front of Congress as the head of the SEC who doesn't answer questions truthfully, who double talks and does things that seemingly look like he's manipulating the markets by what he says publicly, along with another guy named Jamie Dimon. And you got that funkiness going on from the leadership. What do you think the other people who work under that leadership are going to do? And there's a concept in it's not business management, but like there's a thing where you don't have to actually outright tell someone, hey, if you do this, this is what will lead to the benefits and promotions and stuff for you like that, right? Or, hey, stay away from these type of topics because we don't do that here. I forget what the phrasing is, but that's basically what's been going on in the SEC for decades. And now that we're in this whole crypto thing, like everyone kind of understands, do what you need to do to win the case. So what do? They abuse their authority and can screw facts that work within their favor to go, hey, we will do it this way because I get the win. And in the department that I work for, me getting the win is the important thing. How I get the win is a different story. Again, to me, I mean, shout outs to the judge. What's his name? Shelby. Where is it at? It's there it is. Judge Shelby. 80 pages legal document breaking it down. Robert Shelby of Salt Lake City Federal District Court. shout outs to him for like going on paper, like going out in front and saying stuff. But at the same time, it's just like, all right, but will this actually lead to change in how the SEC operates and is doing their thing in busting down like the crypto industry? I don't know. I don't think so. Would I count this as a indicator? I don't think so, because I don't see anything else in any of the other like crypto related cases going on right now where there's someone who's actually trying to do the fair shake. Like, look at what's going on in the FTX case. It is dragged out for more than a year now, and we're still questioning whether he might actually go to jail, even though there were a hell of a ton of rules already in place that he violated. Take the crypto stuff out of it. He already violated regular financial rules. So what other question is there? If he already violated the regular financial rules. But here we are. Anywho, I don't want to beat that horse down. It is what it is. Unless some other case comes up that like really has a more like, I don't know if to say boisterous public effect, but I don't see this being the thing to get the SEC to change their behavior. They've been operating like this for decades. All right, so next story. Oh, by the way, that was on who was that on? That was on Crypto Globe, if anybody's interested. So this next one is out of Cryptopolitan, and it is the United Kingdom courts convicts residents of money laundering. And it's this lady. It's a Asian lady named Wen. Yo, she had 4.3 billion worth of BTC. In my mind, off face value, she was the cog in the wheel. The way this story goes about, quote, covering it, it makes it seem like she was a solo operator. And they also don't actually break down how was she converting fiat into crypto? Because it's like, oh, she had all of this Bitcoin and then she was trying to off ramp, and she was doing it through quote traditional money laundering methods, as far as like buy property, buy physical assets, jewelry, things like watches and stuff. Now, the other irony about how this person writes the article is they say a line of um Wen's involvement in a money laundering arrangement has brought attention to the complexities and challenges associated with financial crimes in the digital age. The digital age didn't just start yesterday. Because when you read into the rest of the article, what you then find is they basically was able to track everything. They were able to coordinate that, oh, she has multiple properties in London. They were able to coordinate that she was connected back in to the Asia region in regards to the where she was doing things there. They was able to connect her to Dubai. So like in my mind, for the way that this article is trying to break it down, like, oh, it's so complex, but yet somehow magically they were able to draw everything together. It makes me wonder if all right. A couple months ago, I covered a story in New York. There was there was the same thing of quote a money laundering ring, and it was Indian or Pakistani based, but like they served whoever. You had the crypto, you wanted the cash, and they was giving you like six figure numbers in cash. And this was in New York. I thought them boys was really bold, but it was only a small segment of a larger network. In this particular situation, I'm really kind of dumbfounded in how they are only focusing on the one person. And for the amount of crypto or amount of Bitcoin that she had, to me, this sounds too much like she was part of a network, and she might have just been the front person. Nonetheless, the point of why I bring this up is because I've been talking about capital flight control for how long now? Like, I've been on Gem of the crypto side, what, 2 years now? But I've been talking about capital flight control. If you've been in the chats with me, I've been talking about this for a way longer than 2 years. I'm wondering if someone somewhere like was like, all right, we need to nip this in the bud, because 4.3 billion, y'all. They don't explain where she was getting the money from, and in my mind, that means she was part of a network, and someone or some people are out of a lot of capital right now. And 8 times out of 10, it might have been coming out of the Asian region, or she might have been the go-between between like Hong Kong, China, Dubai, London, and there might have been some other places. But all right, here's where I'm going with this. We will hear more stories like this because of the larger things going on in the economy, in the financial world, especially at the global scale of it. I'm not even going to say people are becoming more creative, because it isn't like it was a new thing that she did for, you know, doing real estate. Like, real estate has been the go-to for generations, but more so the involving new types of technologies. In my mind, I think that there was something on the TradeFi side that was the trigger that said, oh, wait a minute, this person is moving a certain way. Now, they probably could have done better at or she probably could have done better at not using traditional TradeFi stuff, or use better front people. But nonetheless, more cases like this is going to pop up. And I wonder what the blowback of this is going to be, because there's no way that was all of her money. That's all I'm saying on that part. All right. So here's what I did. I'm admitting this as far as it being clickbait, y'all. Yeah, exactly. Holy Way Fan Bam. I think she might have been the fall person, but then imagine how much, like, I don't think that was the total amount of the bigger part of the network. Covering them, what? Knee? Yeah. I'm getting to it. I'm sorry. That's actually, no, that's the last story. But here it goes. This next story right here is about the Iceland saying that they're going to shift their interest and resources from crypto mining into the food mining. Now, in this article, which is out of Bitcoinist, they have the Iceland Prime Minister, who apparently made some comment that was like, yeah, we need to get away from that because, you know, we're still questioning how it affects the environment, blah, 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 blah. In my mind, I think someone's lying, because and I know folks who was doing this, like, in Canada back in like 2018. They were using the miners to heat their greenhouses. And I don't know if you've been in Canada, like Ontario, Vancouver, hell, definitely Toronto, Hamilton. Shout out to my Canucks to the north, by the way. You know, them winters is no joke. Okay. And so the basic of it is, Iceland is saying we're going to shift our attention and resources away from the mining side of the crypto industry, and we're going to bring those resources and things back into food to make stuff more greener and be food independent. In my mind, whoever the tech person is that she's talking to either doesn't understand how you can use mining rigs to help foster the growth of food while doing the whole thing of the financial aspects to crypto mining, or there is something else going on bigger than just this is about food independence. Because there's a whole green movement thing going on within the EU as well as here within the States, where we're on this thing where they're literally writing into the policy like, if you want to get loans and you want to have these types of investments and you want to have these types of bilateral trade things at the country level, the nation state level, well, it has to have X amount of green technologies or green policies or um, um, what's the other word I'm looking for? I can't remember. I can't think of the other word, but it has to be out of that. If it doesn't have that component in it and it has to be a certain percentage, then guess what? You're not going to get this money. You're not going to get the foreign investment. You're not going to get the local investment as far as how the government and the financial sector is going to look to fund ideas and things. And so in my mind, scratching myself, scratching my brain, this is one of those um Holloway fan bab, like we in the same ballpark. We in the same ballpark. Um, yeah, I'm gonna get to the thing, Crypto City. Um, so you have it that yes, you can use miners to be able to heat because of the excess heat generated from them. And it's Iceland, y'all. It's Iceland. Like, and then think about this. You have hydroponics, you have indoor grow farms, you have the whole vertical build grow farm things, right? You're in Iceland. You can't, like, above ground, below ground. Why would you not look to use miners to heat large scale vertical farming areas? So again, in my mind, there's another conversation happening and they're making it sound like it's about being green, but there's something else going on bigger in Iceland than just, oh, well, we don't want to do crypto mining anymore because it's not friendly to the earth. That's my take. That scratched my brain. I'm gonna jump into this last one. This is about the new restrictions on anonymous crypto and cash transactions approved by EU officials. And so basically it's like, hey, if you do over this amount, if you do it from a wallet that doesn't have a limit on it, again, this all boils back to capital flight controls, y'all. This is capital flight control. In that what's gonna happen or what's happening is you already have the exchanges that are in the snitch network. I'm just call it that. It's the snitch network. So even if you're doing something that, quote, is not illegal, because of the amount that you do it at or the frequency that you do it at, you trigger the automation in the system to watch your account. I also, here's the funny thing about stuff like this, right? When you make these rules that are like, hey, you can't do blah 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 as a regular, well, we're targeting it at criminals, but you as the regular citizen can't do it. The other side of the coin is, at least, and this just might be me because I come from this side of like the globe or the gang military attachment. That doesn't mean that you won't have anonymous wallets in operation. That doesn't mean you won't have black wallets or black accounts. It's just going to be, oh, well, the government has the authority or the right to still do it. You as the regular citizen do not. We can move money around in large sums in questionable ways and for very questionable things, but you as the regular citizen cannot. Mind you, the other funky part about this is the EU as the conglomerate is saying this. Some of the other things I pay attention to talk about how the EU is like on its way out. Not tomorrow, but maybe another, 10 years plus down the road. So does this stuff still hold down the road? I honestly think that with this being pushed in, all it's going to do is encourage the growth of the gray market side of anonymous wallets, as well as if you're into mining, and the whole thing of having clean Bitcoin means that it didn't pass through an exchange of any type, which would then look to market. Um, Listen, y'all got to work on your networks. Like, start trying to really figure these things out and figure out where you're trying to be in 10 years, because stuff like this is only meant to pigeonhole you and not the government and not the people who want to play the games on the back end, like the TradFi folks. And so I'm trying to stay within my window on this one. Thank you for the people who tapped in. I do appreciate y'all. I will be getting back on my 08. And shout outs to the rest of the folks. Oh, Simonson family, I used y'all thing. King and Zay, shout outs to y'all too. Again, the Maxima folks, if you do your own work on your Maxima, shout outs to you, because that joint is no joke. And I hope everybody has a good Monday. As I say, have a productive over busy day. If it can't be a productive over busy day, at least be in a safe place, in a safe space, and with good company. And from one human to the next, that is the best that I can wish you. And also, this segment is brought to you by CJ the Smart Guy. All right, y'all. One. I'm trying.